Signing on for today's lesson. And our quote for today is, "What you think you want is not always what you need." So, have you ever had an experience where you wanted something like really, 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 really bad or badly? Bad or badly? Well, you wanted it. And you did everything you could to try to get it. And then when you got it, you realized, like, yeah, that kind of wasn't what I needed. I needed something different, but this was what I wanted. And it could have been like a dream job or what you thought was going to be a dream job. And you really, really wanted that job. And then you got it and it didn't quite fit who you were or what you wanted to do. It could even have been something as simple as food. You all have heard me talk about how much I like pizza. And sometimes I want to have pizza, but pizza's not what I need. I need to make a healthier food choice, but sometimes I do cheat and eat pizza. And when I do, it's pepperoni. And so sometimes the choices we make based on what we think we want turn out not to be the best choice for us. There's something different that's a better choice for us. And the story today is about my mom. Yes, Mom, I'm getting ready to talk about you again. And she's thinking, Lord, this child of mine, what is she getting ready to say about me now? So, when the pandemic was going on, everybody went to like online church, or most people went to online church. And so we were living in North Carolina at the time, and we were watching this church out of Richmond, Virginia. Really great church, really enjoyed watching them. And then we had a local church there in North Carolina that we attended for a while, and then we went online, and then we went back in person, and then we went back online. So when we moved to Clarksville, Mom said, I want to go get back in church. So when we first moved back, we were still doing our little online church out of Richmond. But then eventually we said, okay, let's see if we can find a church. So we started asking around, trying to find a church. And we found this one church that we attended probably for about 9 months. And the time we were there, though, we knew it wasn't necessarily the church for us, but we were attending, the people were nice, the ministers, everybody was just, they were nice people, but we knew it wasn't the church for us. So one of our friends said, come go to church with me. I go with my sister. You guys should come and check it out. So Mom was like, okay, we'll go. She said, but I want like an old school church. I want one where the pastor wears a suit and tie and people dress up for church. And she had all these things in her mind of what she wanted. And so we go to church with my friend the first time, and the senior pastor isn't preaching. The campus pastor at the time preaches, and he gets up and he has on like a button down and some jeans, whatever, and he preaches, and we're like, okay, cool, no problem. And so because it wasn't the pastor, she was like, whatever, and she was like, oh, what do the people have on? I'm like, oh, they're pretty casual. A couple of people had on Ladies had on dresses, but they were pretty casual. And she was like, okay, well, let's go back next Sunday and see if the pastor preaches. So we go back the next Sunday, and lo and behold, the pastor's going to preach. So he gets up and she kind of whispers to me, like, what does he have on? And I said, oh, he's got on some jeans and like I think he had on like a sweatshirt and a vest or something. And so she's like, and then that's all she says. So the pastor preaches the message, and I mean the pastor preaches the message, right? And so we after church, we go and get introduced to him, meet him, and everything, and just tell him how much we enjoyed the service. And so we get in the car, and as soon as we get in the car, she says, "Now I have a problem." I said, "Why?" Because he preached, didn't he? She was like, "Yeah, that boy preached." I said, "And he didn't have on a suit, did he?" She said, "No, I have a problem." And so I just started laughing. And so I said, "Well, Mom, what are you going to do?" She said, "Well, I guess I'll just have to get used to him not wearing a suit. And we both just crack up laughing because if you know her and know us now, it's been almost 2 years. And when I tell you we love our pastor to the moon and back around planet Jupiter, Saturn, and every other planet in the universe, could not have landed in a better spot. But what she thought she wanted was not what she needed. We landed exactly where we needed to be. And so sometimes we have in our mind our wants and our desires, and I think, I want this and I think I want that, but that's not what you need. You have to trust that what you need may not be what you think you want. And so if you live in the Clarksville area, and yes, this is a shameless plug for our wonderful church. If you live in the Clarksville or surrounding areas and you're looking for a church, come check us out at Renovation Church at 2576 North Ford Street in Clarksville, where we renovate lives through the love of Christ, and we do that by loving God and loving people. That's our little motto. So come and check us out because we may be exactly what you need. Like my mom found out what she thought she wanted was not what she needed. Okay? So that's our life lesson for today. Hashtag life lessons, hashtag listen and learn, hashtag words of wisdom. What you think you want is not always what you need. Signing off.